Hello and welcome to our Spring 2019 Update Dev Podcast. This is part 2 of the Spring Update, and I'd first like to start by apologizing. I'm so sorry, I made an oopsie. The date that I put on the poster was actually inaccurate. It was supposed to be 26th of March. So my fault. I promise not to repeat this mistake again. To all you viewers who are watching us right now, I thank you for your patience. So, let's get into today's podcast. With me today is Jeremy Chu.
Hello.
Hello, the ever-present voice, and of course the creative Exemius sees the front line. So, for those of you who know, we will be talking a bit more about the Battlesuits abilities today, but we'll also be updating you on some of our upcoming events and the tournament, and we got a new surprise for you that we'll show you slightly later. So, what surprise do we have? Well, first of all, hello!
Finally! Yo!
Finally! We finally got the camera working.
We got to see the world.
Yes, we got to see the world.
I mean, the world gets to see us.
So the camera's finally working. As I promised you last week, you get to see our faces, and you'll be seeing more of our faces as we rotate the team around to introduce you more of the stuff that we're working on. Hi, Empty Soul. Nice to see you. Okay. So, just real quick, Jeremy, if you don't mind, I'll go very briefly on what's happening for the tournament.
Cool.
Okay, so as you all know, this weekend in Malaysia, we will be at Digital Nation. That's happening in Quill City Mall, Kuala Lumpur on the 30th to 31st of March. Excuse me. So, what's happening here is that there'll be a bunch of events happening at the same time. There'll be tournaments like ours, a Rainbow Six tournament. They're very much an esports kind of festival kind of thing, and it will be fun to come and watch because there's no entry charge as far as I know. Anyone can come in. It's a nice mall. We'll have a booth there where we'll have some laptops set up. This is where you get to try the game and meet the developers, come shake hands with Jeremy or Lim, you know, and get to know us because we're very excited to get to know you. So a little bit about what's going to happen on that day. This is the schedule that they've released, but I have to inform you, it's still a little bit moving around here and there. Like for example, on the 31st of March, as you can see, they actually put us at 11 o'clock, but I've been informed that there's some changes, so we'll actually be at a bit later. What hasn't changed, however, is that on both days, from 2 to 5 p.m., we will have our own segment where on the 30th, Saturday, we'll have an open play session for 3 hours where we have 10 laptops in their own E3 space for us to use. So anyone can come in, anyone can jump in and play, even you guys overseas, right, in the US and whatnot, no problem. You guys can have fun.
Did they spell us wrong?
Yes, they did spell us wrong.
Oh my god, we gotta whoop them.
Oh, don't worry, I'm talking with them very, very closely, and they know. They know.
Oh, they know.
They know.
Right.
But yeah, they are in a bit of a rush. You know, their first time organizing events, but that's okay. We're still going to be there. I'm going to make sure that people who come to play will get a good time and have a good experience with us.
Yep, and we're very honored to be placed among some of the very big games, right? They have other tournaments as well there.
Yes, they have a Rainbow Six Siege with streamers. They also have an AGL match.
Do they have a Call of Duty or something?
I don't think they have it here, but it's probably done on the spot, like offline.
Yep, the other side offline. So there's a lot of tournaments going on there. Most of the AAA big titles, and you know, we are very honored to be, to be
part of it. And we'll be neighbors with the KDU College of Game Development as well. So they actually called me, and they actually suggested if we had time, they want to do a battle of the game developers. Where they'll get some of you guys versus some of their guys in Exemius. But I didn't promise anything yet.
Right. I don't think they stand a chance.
Okay, we'll see.
They might. Depends who they have on their team.
If it does happen, I will do my absolute best to live stream or record this.
Oh yeah, that will be interesting.
Okay, so now let's go back to the tournament. Okay, the tournament has a cash prize of 1,000 ringgit exactly. Okay, first place winner will earn 750 ringgit, and second place will earn 250 ringgit. Unfortunately, this tournament is only available to people in the sub-Asia region.
Yep, on site.
On site, and it's on site only. So you gotta come and register at this website, matchroom.net, who are a generous part sponsor of the cash prize. You just got to go to their website, matchroom.net, and register at our sign-up page. And then make sure you and your full team are on location on Sunday and register with us. Check in with us at our booth before 1:30 p.m. Once you're there,
so it'll be the first 4 teams.
Yes, and we're capping this at only 4 teams, each team of 5 people only. So it's first come, first serve. If you're fast, you get in, you get a chance to win 750 ringgit if you're the first place. Okay?
Toast is going to fly here for the tournament.
Oh, Toast, you want to fly in? Totally, dude. No problem. Like I said, it's for the region. If you're in the region, you get to play.
So just to highlight this is not going to be the full Spring 2019 tournament. This is an extra side one. We will still be doing our official Spring 2019 tournament with the new content. So those will be coming later. So the part of our plan of doing one tournament for each season is still going on. So you know, let's hope we manage to secure a bigger sponsor and more cool and interesting prizes this time. So no problem with the online tournament. Those are still upcoming.
That's for the future, and that's definitely something to look forward to. So you can stay tuned for some more news on that as well. Empty Soul, me and Toast will versus all of them. Oh wow! We'll have to give them a warning beforehand. So again, just a quick reminder: register at matchroom.net. Okay, once you're done, make sure you're on site on Sunday before 1:30 to check in with us. 2v8 easy. Tournament will be from 2 to 5, and we'll announce the winners on the spot as well as our Discord channel. So it's first come, first serve, okay? If you're not interested in the tournament, it's fine. Come on Saturday, 2 to 5. We have an open play session and get to know us. So that's it for Digital Nation. Now, let's get into why you're all watching, the real chunky goodness. We're here to talk about the new Battlesuit abilities.
Right.
So we're gonna start with Exploit Vanguard first, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So Jeremy, you take over.
So the Exploit Vanguard is the full features are not done yet, but here's the plans for the features. So we will be able to show this live next week. But definitely the abilities has been confirmed. So the Exploit Vanguard is as we mentioned a caster type hero, which is a buff and debuffer and area denial kind of hero as well. So the first skill is going to be the wireless hack. So how the wireless hack is going to work out is that it is a 3-section, I would say that it's a 3-section hacking. So the player will have to be, stationary to do the hack, and during the hack there will be 3 sections. We call it the disrupt, disable, and hijack. So at the first stage, you will be able to disrupt to either to slow or disarm. So for you guys who are waiting to hack the Iron Guard of the Exeron, you'll be able to slow and disarm them in the beginning, right at the beginning of the hack, and then disable, and the third one will be hijack. So some of the units might be locked for hijacking, but for the confirmed units that you are definitely able to hijack are like turrets and vehicles. So it is going to be a temporary mind control kind of spell. Ooh. Right? Yeah, so it's going to take a lot of I would say that a lot of player exposure. You will have to expose yourself and then to slowly hack it in the first person view, and you have to kind of like keep the unit in range. Ooh. So the enemy commanders who are aware of this might be able to send their forces against you. So the idea of the Exploit Commander is that it can actually pick up single high value targets in the battlefield. If you have like a single tank, single Omicron from Exeron rolling out, and it's not assisted by a unit or an officer, then those kind of situations will be very exploitable, as you might put it. Oh, so wow. Yeah, so you can definitely hack it, but it will actually take time. So we're still trying to balance out how long it will take, but we're looking at somewhere between 10 to 30 seconds kind of thing. But what we are going to do is that the first stage of disrupt will kick in almost immediately, perhaps in the first half or first second, maximum maybe 1 or 2 seconds. So the idea is that the longer you hack, the more it the heavier the effect will be. So one thing about a Battlesuit that is in general, this is going to be like an overall thing, is that we are actually slowly unlocking more abilities for the Battlesuit. We have had a Battlesuit meeting a while ago internally. We will be doing a passive for every every battlesuit classes and an ultimate as well, which will be unlocked as you earn more weapon credits. Those are one of the future features. So right now, every battlesuit has 2 abilities, Aegis and Assault Vanguard, Exploit Vanguard, Orion as well. But the other 2 abilities are already being planned as well, right? So we're not going to confirm any of it yet, because if it doesn't come out, we might get death threats and stuff like that. So, but definitely we have a very clear idea of what we want to have for the players to use. So there will be a passive and there will be an ultimate as well, which will likely improve the hacking ability, right? So the whole exploit is very much into exploiting specific high value targets that is alone in the field. So as you face this battlesuit, you do not want to have lone assets outside, you know, hanging around doing nothing. It will easily be picked off, even though if it's a vehicle or a turret. Also, another thing is confirmed is that a hacker will be able to, the Exploit Vanguard will be able to hack resource points from a distance, but it will not be able to capture, but will be able to disable it, meaning that turning it into neutral, right? So it's going to be a constant annoyance that if they can keep a distance, they can kind of uncapture it. This also helps you to buy time if you are in a really, I would say that you're in a close match at 1 or 2 points. But again, it's not going to be easily pulled off. You will have to kind of expose yourself for a while and keep hacking, and then it disables it. So another thing that you definitely can hack is an enemy battlesuit.
Oh,
so that's the interesting thing. So if you can put the enemy in sight somewhere in the middle of the screen, you're able to target the enemy player's battlesuit, and if they don't move around, like if a sniper, you'll be able to hack them, meaning that they will disable their shields and regeneration for a while, and disable their battlesuit abilities if they have.
Oh my god, this guy is gonna sound like a real pain in the battlefield.
yeah. So there will be a cooldown in the skill, so you have to choose your targets wisely. But the idea is that it's a multiple use, very contextual kind of abilities. You can use on this, you can use on that, and you can also do things like cancel the production of a unit in the barracks.
Oh wow!
Like you walk right up to their command center and they're building something halfway, and then you exploit it, you cancel the production. You know, so these are the kind of things that will.
I can foresee this guy, like, if you can rush him early game, he's probably gonna mess up the build order for like the enemy.
Yeah. So the counter is very simple. As long as you have a bunch of units, you can't do much about it. But then we go to the second ability. Right? Which is... so this ability will actually complement the first ability. This is the Scarab Swamp. So the Scarab Swamp it's going to be a deployable error denial ability. You were able to throw one of these devices and release a swarm of robotic insects that will actually spew out toxic gas. Wow. So the toxic gas will be able to error denial for infantry. It will continuously deal infantry damage. It will also they are not mines, but they are almost like that. So they will also put some effects on the player's screen, right, and kind of disrupt them basically.
Oh, like something will block the screen?
It's like you're getting disrupted, and it will take a bit of damage, but it will not be enough damage to sort of outright kill the player. But it slowly takes damage, so you do not want to like walk across. So the other thing is that these scarabs will also eat up the armor of enemy vehicles. So if you have vehicles in the radius, you will have a weakened armor, and it will actually take extra damage from bullets. So you do not want to have your Omicrons and your crawler passing by this area. So this thing will last about, I would say, 20-30 seconds or so, or probably even up to 1 minute. We're trying to sort of adjust around the timing, right? Balance up the timing. So it's hard to say how long can they stay inactive. No, the moment you throw it, it will get active immediate. Right away. Yeah, so there's going to be a range. We definitely won't allow them to launch it very far. So this is going to be an error denial thing, like you pluck it down and then you hack. So that also one thing, the Exploit Vanguard themselves will be immune to this. So you can actually pluck it down and sit right in the middle of this, and of course you can get shot at. But the thing is that it will be a disruption in such a way where they can't chase you down. or you can use it to create a good fallback area. Yeah. So in essence, this is going to be an error denial thing. So I'm looking at this being abused in a PvE map.
It certainly sounds like something, that's for sure.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to try to figure out how to balance it about it being abused in PvE. Oh, by the way, you can shoot at the device and kind of like blow it up.
Oh, so people can actually shoot it to
you can actually shoot it up to end it, but there will be I would say that the hit point will be more or less like the repair drone. It's not too easily blown up, but you can still take it out.
Okay.
Yeah, but because it's a rechargeable ability, so if you want to blow up, you have to blow it up in the first 10-20 seconds. Otherwise, it's not going to be worth it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Pixel asks, is the gas like a smoke?
Okay. So the current, it will be like insects flying and a bit of a smoke as well. Basically, the robotic insect, these are called the Scarab devices. The Scarabs will actually release the gas.
Okay.
So it's in a way it's smoke, but you can also see some little critters in the smoke flying around. Yeah.
All right, awesome.
Yep. So you can also what do you call it? You can also reduce the armor of a turret as well, because the turret will be there. But if you can get close enough to the turret without getting shot, then that's another
thing altogether. All right, let's talk about how the commander of the game will be utilizing this. What is the cost for this armor? Is it the same as the Assault Vanguard? Cheaper, more expensive?
Yeah, so definitely it's going to be the same cost. The battlesuit is going to be the same cost. So one of the things with the battlesuit cost that we are definitely doing, this is a definite feature. You can count on this happening, which is a definite, like 100% definite. It's the weapon credit system. It's coming. It's a question of when. So the weapon credit system is a system where our players will be able to buy weapons, call down battlesuit on their own cost rather than waiting for the commander. Because right now there's a lot of synchronization issues where the commanders are throwing down the battlesuit, but the players don't want them, or the players don't care about them, and they don't know where they're throwing down. And then you have to ping where the battlesuit is being thrown down like all the time.
Yes.
It's fun in a way, like commander is dropping a care package, but again, it's not that practical. So in terms of the battlesuit being called down, it will be the same price. So all the battlesuits will be the same price. Yeah. So we spoke about the ultimate and the passive and the abilities getting improved later on. So those are going to be part of the weapon credits as well. So we will talk more about the weapon credits on the spring update or after, or perhaps we could see if we can confirm the feature by next week. We can do another podcast about it. So we definitely have a lot of exciting updates about the weapon credits, which will really change the dynamics of the game. We want to essentially put the FPS player into a more, I would say, a more independent role, where they are more self-sustainable. They don't rely on the commander to sort of
give everything that
So the commander will be sending them backups and plans and all this, rather than they have to wait on the commander to do things.
Sounds like an interesting evolution for the officers. They can be a bit more independent.
Correct.
All right. What kind of interesting strategies do you think Exploit will do with Assault Vanguard?
Yeah. So I think there might not be off my head. I can't think of any what you call as an interesting combo.
Yeah.
But definitely, what I would see that if you have an Exploit and Assault Vanguard moving together as a crowd, you can definitely use that to sort of defend the Exploit Vanguard when they're hacking, or sort of use an area denial. And then see, the thing about area denial is that when you use area denial, enemy have to detour, right? So when the detour, you kind of like split up the army, and that's where Assault Vanguard is really good at taking out clusters of infantries.
So it's like a divide and conquer kind of strategy,
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. All right.
So if you guys have been following the patch yesterday, so we released the patch yesterday, 0.51.3.
Yeah.
So this will be the final patch before the spring update. There's a huge improvement on the Assault Vanguard. The abilities are much better to be used now. It's really easy to lock on targets. The range has been increased. So as of spring update, you will see you'll be able to utilize this much better. Actually, you can already use it right away in the patch. So the locking mechanism has been improved by a lot, right? And I think this will definitely help.
Nice, good to hear. All right, so let's now move on to the next battlesuit. For those of you who are more into the sci-fi, alien, robot kind of thing, you'll be happy to see that Orion as well has some pretty interesting abilities. So, let's get Jeremy.
So, okay, so Orion is I think we kind of talked a bit about it the last round. So it's definitely an assassin type hero, and it's I would say that it's almost the same as Exploit in terms of utility, but instead of exploiting the assets, right, Orion is much more focused on enemy hero. So it's focused on defeating lone officers that wander around the map.
So this is the guy to counter the.
Yeah, I would say that you can say that it can be used to counter the exploit if exploit is alone, but exploit is used to counter lone assets of the enemy commander, right? You have one tank out there, two tank. So Orion is used to counter single players running around out there. So abilities. The Orion's ability, it's going to be a lot of illusion and a lot of trickery.
Trickery.
They're definitely a trickster kind of hero. So the first ability will actually be the mirror. So you have it's called the Phantom Strike ability. The Phantom Strike ability basically creates a copy of the player itself, and whatever the player is doing, it will copy. So if the player is standing still, the Phantom Strike will create a copy of itself that's standing still. If it's moving, it will create a copy that's moving in the same direction. If it's sprinting, it will create a copy of sprinting. So here's the good part. We can actually show this. This is one of the ability that's already ready. You want to see it? Maybe we can see it.
Oops. Just a second.
Let's open this.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. Here we
So
go.
we've got this up now.
Get the two small windows, yeah.
Yep, that's a two small window, correct. So we've got two of this up. So this is a GSF player, and if you're aware of this downtime, so this is the Orion.
The Orion is at the bottom left there.
Yep.
First person is on the top right.
So I'm going to
wait. Sorry.
increase the size of this a bit.
Sorry, wait.
Sorry?
Wait a second. Just a second. Okay, fine. Just checking some stuff. Okay.
So I'm just gonna. So there's sound, yeah. So if you can see, Orion is standing still here, and I can actually hit a button. It creates.
Whoa.
Right? So if you can see from a distance, you can't tell the difference, but when it's near, it goes away. So the cooldown is not being tuned yet. We are still trying to, but it's going to be a short duration. It won't be like Phantom Assault. This is going to be used and exploited immediately. So you can see that the character is going backwards. See that?
Oh, it moves backwards.
Yeah, because I was moving backwards, right? So if I'm going forward,
it moves forward too.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
God.
when it's near, you can actually see the flashing, but when it's far, you can absolutely not tell the difference.
So you
see
can
which is which.
So like you can like literally just hide behind something.
Yeah.
And pretend.
Yep. Now check this out. So you can see in the bottom left, I'm in 100% in the cover, right?
Yeah.
So I can do this. So that's the fake one, and the real one is here. Ta-da!
Oh my god. This is gonna mess with so many players.
Yeah, and then I can do this. So if I'm totally here and I know that you're over there, so I was just going to sprint.
And then just drop.
And then you'll be like trying to shoot at it, and then suddenly you'll be like, oh, that's a fake one. You know? And also, right? So another thing is that if I'm shooting, the guy will be shooting as well.
And does the copy, does it do damage? No damage.
No, it doesn't do damage, but it has sparks. So let's see. Oh no, that one didn't work. So I'm good. So you have to be shooting while you're.
Yeah, I see it.
Right? So as I'm moving.
Oh wow, it actually also drops like it doesn't just show the bullet spark burst. It actually shows like fake bullet holes on the floor if you're aiming down.
Yeah. So it does show sparks and all this kind of thing, but it doesn't do any damage. So if I'm jumping, it will be jumping as well, but it doesn't continuously jump.
Oh, it just jumps the one time.
Yeah. So can you see which is the fake one? So I'm just going to spam this ability a bit, although it's not going to be spammable in the
final. Yeah. Oh man. This is
so which is the real one?
You can play like you know find the real one amongst all these people just crowding around. Empty Soul says he's getting a Halo Reach Vet flashback.
Yeah, is that a... Okay, so do we go straight for the second ability?
Yeah, let's go to the second ability.
Okay, so we're just gonna go straight for the second ability. So the second ability is a bit more interesting. So the second ability is actually a stun. I would say that it's a stun grenade. What we call it is a shock trap.
Shock trap. Okay.
So this shock trap will actually so you have the Orion causing havoc everywhere and create duplicates of itself, and then you're trying to chase it down.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, you step into the shock trap and you go boom.
Oh man.
Right?
Okay.
So if you can see in the top left of the screen, I might focus a bit more on here this time. Okay. So I'm going to show, so this is how the shock trap is going to work. So you just hit a button and throw exactly like a grenade, right? So the wall that it hits, it will stick to it.
Oh, so it's a sticky ball.
So it will take a few seconds to prime.
Okay.
So you can hear the sound, beep, 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 and then when it primes, right? So if you have this guy who is running over it, there's going to be a shock trigger so that if you are sprinting, it will hit you right in the face.
Whoa!
So you get shocked.
Oh, it's like his light flashing over his eyes.
So you get shocked for a while and you can't move. You see, as I'm moving, it's very slow.
Also, it's like literally like your face stun. You're trying to.
Yeah, it will shock you in phases.
Oh wow, it's quite long, huh?
Yeah, it will shock you about, I think, about 20 seconds. But again, it's we are still trying to adjust how punishing this is. But one of the important thing is that because the radius is quite small, and also for example, I'm going to throw one of these here. Hold on, I'm going to throw one of these here.
Okay.
So it's if you react fast enough, you can actually avoid it. If you can hear the sound, there's a sound cue.
Oh, there it is.
So you see, it missed. So the thing, why is there a Why is there a delay? Is because so if we do not put a delay, so okay, these are tight corners, right? These are actually good places to plant these devices, right? So if we don't put a delay, the moment you touch it, it will explode. You won't get hit in the center of it. So the closer you are to the epicenter, you will actually, the effect will be greater.
Oh.
Right, and there's going to be some form of damage as well. So it will slowly shock you, but it won't be enough to kill you. But it's just
it's enough to slow you down. Slow you down so that like enemies can.
They can hunt you down. You can prevent them from chasing the Orion. So the Orion is sort of like an escape artist as well. Yeah, but the thing is that, so you see, if I were to sprint, I'm going to get hit right in the center because of the delay. So check this out. Okay.
So this is the full effect of the shock trap.
Yep, this is the full effect of the shock trap.
You can't run. Your body is shaking and you're getting seizures.
you can still shoot, but
it's very disruptive.
Yeah, it's just it slows you down. So we're still trying to tune around how punishing this is, like I said, right? So what we're looking at is that if you get hit in the epicenter, you will outright be stunned for maybe 1 or 2 seconds, right? And then the electricity thing, maybe we can like lower it down. But the idea is that the more center you are, the more the more effect you get, right? So it's not just about, okay, when you have abilities and traps like that, it's not just about the effect itself, right? The effect itself might so Mighty Toad say definitely lasts too long. Yeah, we can definitely tune the time. So the effect itself is not where the goal is. The whole goal of this is that when you are facing an Orion, it gets you a bit paranoid. And then you check your corners like, is there a bomb here? Is there a bomb here? So that's the whole idea of the...
It's to immediately force the player to feel like, okay, I can't just rush in.
Yeah.
I gotta play smart.
Yeah, especially facing an Orion, right?
Yeah.
Also, because there's like a bit of a... there's a bit of a delay in the sound, and there's like... when you get hit, right, if you can hear, there's a bit of a charging sound. So when you hear the sound, you know, it immediately gets you very worried. So
you go into your
and
fight
you don't know
or
where to go. So right now you can actually see the proximity because it's a developer build, right? But in the actual game there won't be a proximity line for hostile at least. So you would have to be very careful when you hear the sound. You have to step back, right? So it really messes with your mind when you're chasing down Orion. So the abilities, look, this is an early access for viewers. Exhibits is definitely an early access.
Yep.
A lot of tuning is going on. In fact, even Assault Vanguard and Aegis is getting an ability revamp. We might be talking about it next podcast. The abilities that Aegis and Assault Vanguard have now it's 100% getting changed. That's like happening. The question is what is being changed. So we already have a few template abilities that serves the purpose better a bit. So things like balancing and all that it's definitely going to be tuned. None of this is sort of final. Even if it's final, there will be patches to change things. So we want to like try out and balance up a bit in terms of the utility. Our KPI for the Battlesuits is definitely on things like, does it serve the utility? You know, does it serve the purpose of it? Does it blend well with the strategies and the tactics of what we're trying to do?
Well, from what we can see, when our first two Battlesuits were very much like for GSF, it was very much a assault unit. You know, you added rocket launchers. It's very strong and tanky. Then for Exeron, they were more of like support, and you know they shoot up like laser beams and whatnot to like repair drones and stuff to keep the front line defensive. Is to keep the front line strong. So now that we have these two coming up, you know, this really changes the dynamic because it's no longer, you know, an unstoppable force versus an immovable object. Now you can literally change the path of how things will move.
Correct,
you know?
correct. It is it's immovable and there's something. Yeah. So you can't actually attach it to. So one of the problems we are thinking is that can you actually attach it to an Omicron and then drive it to the enemy? Right.
Suicide tanker.
So that was some of the possibility I was thinking. You know, we have players like Husky who is like so abusive. He will find an abuse in every single. So we are like, okay. So basically, the shock trap will not be able to stick on any gameplay units. If you throw right at it, it will bounce back. Right.
Okay.
Right. If you throw at it, it will bounce. Oops. Yeah. It will just hit whatever surface.
Okay.
So there's a bit of priming sound as well, so that you can't actually use it offensively. Like you're shooting a bunch of units and then you just throw this over there, you know?
Oh, okay.
It's not going to work because the enemy can hear the beep and then they can just fire at it to disable it. Yeah, it won't explode. So...
Oh my god, we're getting grenades, guys!
So grenades is we will talk about the podcast in future. That is something that might be happening. So this is definitely in a way it's a grenade, but we do not want it to be used offensively. That's the point. It's not one of those ability where you think, oh, there's a bunch of units, I'm going to throw it there. You know, it's more like there's a bunch of units, right? I'm going to throw it here.
So then when you make your escape,
so that when I make my escape, I can do this. Goodbye. You know.
And then when they realize,
you definitely do not want to chase this guy. You know.
Okay.
Or you can actually throw another one here. So you can plant up to, the plan is that you can plant up to 3 mines, right? And then the first one will fizzle out.
Ah, okay.
Right?
So there's a three mine limit lah, basically.
Yeah. So.
Alright, looks good.
So we're still trying to figure out things like should there be a warning, you know, should there be a slight beeping sound so players can kind of step carefully. So I'm leaning more towards yes, because when you hear the beeping sound, it kind of like, oh, you know, everybody, you know, stop and look. Because if I were to throw this here, oh sorry, I throw it wrong. If I were to throw it to this wall, right?
Yeah.
There's absolute zero way. If you're an enemy, there's absolute zero way for you to know there's something there.
Until it's too late.
Oh, one more thing, one very important thing. Okay. So I'm going to control this guy. No, just go over there. So the shock trap will only explode upon vision. So this is a very important thing. So if I have it over here, so here, right? I have it over here, right?
Yep.
And then this guy over here, it won't explode, is it? Ooh.
Oh, so it has to be.
Boom!
Ah, wow, that's some smart.
So
tech.
if you put it behind, you come here, you get the full effect. You know, because otherwise if you plant that, it will explode when you're over here, right? So you won't have the splash because it's actually behind. It will only shock you if you are in the direct side of it. So yeah, you can protect the spoils.
Yes, you can protect the points of these.
But then again, is that if enemy is kind of, we are definitely going to put like a small LED to make it a bit more obvious, so that you have to deliberately sort of do silly shits like this. Like, let me
you
show
gotta be
you.
extra careful.
Like you will have to come here, right? We might put it like somewhere here or something.
Yeah, just between the boxes.
Like something like that. So it's so you'll be like, oh, no explode, no explode, no explode. Kaboom!
Damn.
You know?
Oh wow, this is gonna make some very interesting gameplay.
Right?
Yeah.
So we need to show the enemy getting shot at this point, like maybe a bit like a payday taser kind of.
Yeah, maybe like a body.
So this works for AI infantry as well, right? Yeah.
Sorry, I don't recall. Did you say it affects?
Yes, it affects AI infantry as well.
What about tanks?
No, it doesn't affect vehicles.
Okay,
so this will only be triggered by all infantry units.
Nice.
But don't forget, mules are also infantry, so...
Also, mules can be shot by this too.
Yeah, mules can be shot by it, Iron Guard can be shot by it, so Iron Guards is considered infantry as well.
My strategy.
Yeah, you can actually shot the Iron Guard and, you know...
Yeah.
No, but Iron Guards are Azeron, so you won't shot unless it's a mirror match.
It's a mirror match, you know.
Technically not possible.
We'll let you guys imagine what that's gonna look like.
Yeah, we played a bit of a mirror match a while ago before the beta, and it was interesting. Iron Guard firing an Iron Guard. Nice. So essentially, all infantry will be vulnerable to this.
Okay, awesome. Just a moment. Now I'm gonna switch back real quick here to the main. Okay, so that was the abilities for the Orion, and we've also gone through Exploit Vanguard. Just a quick recap. For Exploit Vanguard, we will have two main skills: Wireless Hack, which will work in stages where you can disrupt, disable, and hijack. The second skill, which is Scarab Swamp, this works where it's an aerial denial spell. Basically, he drops something like a mine that opens up immediately, and a bunch of scarab bugs will affect the area and also destroys shields for infantry as well as vehicles. There's also an upcoming update in the near future, or maybe slightly further, where all Battlesuits will have a new passive skill as well as an ultimate skill that's to come. It's not yet confirmed. But we also then have the Orion, which we mentioned, two main skills. One was Shock Trap. This is where you can throw a mine and plant them up the tree, and within proximity it will actually stun and zap all enemy infantry, AI included, but it doesn't work on vehicles. We also have Phantom Strike, which is really cool because depending on your movement and what you're doing at the time, whether you're running, strafing, or shooting, you can deploy an actual clone of the Orion who's doing the same action, so you can really mess with your opponent's mind that way. Overall, I think it's really cool, and I'm very happy to see all these new updates. This is all coming with our Spring 2019 update, which is expected to launch sometime in middle April 2019.
Yep. About 2 weeks more now also.
Nice. Okay, so now let's move on to our second surprise. Jeremy, do you want to tell them what it is?
Oh, why not we let the one who presents?
Okay, so for those of you who haven't met him before, we're going to show a new face here. His name is Lim, okay? He's a very sweet guy, very hardworking, and gosh, we're so happy to have him. There he is! Come over here. Okay, say hi to the guys on the chat.
Hello everyone.
Hello, hi. So this is Lim, okay? And he's gonna show us our very new PvE map.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
So yes, it is a PvE map. For those wondering last week.
Alright, let's have a first look. Oh, sorry for a moment. The mic went a little funny. Just give me a few seconds, yeah. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Okay, there we go.
You're talking about the mic.
Okay, sorry about that. All right, go ahead.
All right, cool. All right, so yeah, just to recap, for those wondering how this map will differ from the existing PvE map, the Homeland Security. So Urban Hustle will be slightly bigger. It's around 600 meters diagonally. It's around 20-30% bigger compared to the Homeland Security. So what is the setting like for this map, the story? So you and your squad are, drop in deep into enemy territory. So for those who don't know, the primary antagonists on the PvE so far are, the faction called the League. So they're those red color guys and white that you guys shoot so far in Homeland. Yeah. So you're supposed to. So your objective is to collect 3 hard drives that are randomly scattered around the map. So with every new playthrough, the location will always changes. So it's adds a bit of replayability there.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Okay.
So new enemy type, but we have new prop.
No new enemy type empty soul, but we have new props.
Yes.
So these are the objective items. What's this?
So these are well, we just call them consoles.
Okay.
Yeah. So inside these consoles, there are hard drives that are scattered around the map. So you have to collect 3 of these hard drives within a set amount of time, and then return it back to this main console in your base. So yes, that's the main objective. So the sub-objective is to, as usual, not lose your headquarters. You lose it, you lose the game.
All right. And so we have to capture 3 hard drives and bring them back to base within a certain time limit.
Yes.
All right. So they will be the hard drives will be in different locations every time we start up the map.
Yes.
All right. And this is something that will be interesting, I see, because it's sort of like capture that kind of situation with the enemy.
You can put it that way.
Yeah.
Because the enemy will actively try to defend it. Yeah. And well, you're trying to steal it from them.
All right. So what kind of challenges can we look forward to, like in this map?
Challenges. I think primarily it will be your knowledge of your units.
Okay.
Because the map is actually divided into sections where there are zones in the map where there will be no vehicle present. Yeah. So you will have to, approach that zone with just units and abilities. Yeah, well, there are some areas that are more open and vehicles can you will get vehicle support, but at the same time you will encounter enemy vehicles as well.
Okay.
So that will be
will the Gauss tank come after you?
Well, up to a point.
Up to a point. I'm calling a pink mule Easter egg. I don't know, Manitos. You gotta keep trying with Jeremy about that.
Right. So how the commander works? I assume it's how big of a role he'll play.
Yeah.
I think he'll be the main eyes in the sky in locating the hard drives.
You need to send in support to scout the area.
Yep.
You can't go in alone. You don't get around.
So I'm getting, this is just my opinion about it, but based on how the map is described, I'm getting a sense like the commander won't be so much like full on grand strategy. He's sort of more of like you know, a SWAT team leader in a way. Yeah.
He will have to actively support.
Actively support, you know, have to make sure that the right kind of units move in the right position to support the officers, you know, with what they need.
Definitely.
Okay, that's pretty interesting. That's pretty interesting. Will there be anything new for the commander to like have at his disposal for this map?
No.
No?
No.
So the same upgrades are. So I can definitely see like, you know, the GSF paratroopers would be very useful in this one.
Yeah,
of
course.
All right, cool, awesome.
Yep.
All right, so how should players prepare themselves?
Ah.
Like what kind of loadout would you suggest that a player use?
That's a good question. So, I think the players should just approach this as they usually do. I think most of the players would know that map knowledge is certainly one of the key knowledge to have when playing Eximius. So that's one thing. In terms of loadout, I would recommend like example for GSF, the Sika, either the Assault Spec Ops, because you will notice that they are like really long corridors for firefights. But when you enter these certain blocks or zones, suddenly your firefight area becomes more condensed. So you might want to switch to shotguns or maybe the grenade launcher for like AoE damage. So situational. So that's where your tool loadout weapon comes in. So you can adapt along the way.
Sweet. All right. And this will also launch at the same time with our spring dev update lah.
Yes.
Okay. Awesome.
We'll try.
So that's not a guarantee.
That's not good.
It's a likely.
Yeah.
It's not a guarantee, but it's a likely target. We'll do our absolute best to meet that target for you guys. Okay. All right. Okay, Mighty Toe says you should consider adding static emplacements for players and AI in PvE maps.
I'm assuming that it's mentioning you're talking about like small enemy bases.
Turrets for enemies,
yeah. Well, we're planning that.
Maybe like, you know, little sandbag bunkers or something. You know,
You see it?
Yeah. We're not giving anything away. Alright, awesome. So that was our second surprise, which is our new PvE map called Urban Hustle. Sounds a lot like Kung Fu Hustle. I like it. Yes. Okay, alright. So that's it for today's episode. This is Spring 2019 Update Part 2, which is technically Episode 4. Do stay tuned for more of our podcasts. We are planning to make this a regular podcast show. Whether it's weekly, maybe every 2 weeks, we'll work on that. Jeremy has a lot to share with, so you're probably seeing us very regularly for the next few weeks. But of course, we'll supplement this with maybe some streams. Of course, we'll try to live stream the tournament that's happening this weekend as well, so you guys can watch and also, you know, cheer on for your favorite team. Aside from that, I just want to thank everyone for joining us in the chat and also for the stream. We hope you like the show. If there's anything you would like us to work on or improve on, feel free to let us know in our Discord channel. That's discord.gg/ammoboxstudios. It's free to enter, don't worry. Come say hi to us, play a few games. Aside from that, do follow us on Facebook. That's where we post most of our updates, on our Steam page as well. And of course, check out our YouTube and Instagram. Instagram is where we'll have really nice pictures. Really nice pictures. Okay, aside from that, just a last reminder, Digital Nation is happening this weekend on the 30th and 31st. Come anytime. We'll have our open play session on Saturday at 2 to 5 p.m. Tournament is at 2 to 5 on Sunday, and registration will be on matchroom.net. This is Lim over here, and I'm Calvin. Thanks again for watching, and stay tuned for next week's episode. Bye-bye. Hey, Jeremy, say bye. All right.